welcome you from the NBA bubble in Orlando. We're on the campus of Walt Disney World Resort at the arena, Advent Health Arena to be exact. And you're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT. It's our first round coverage, and it is presented by Rocket Mortgage, the Houston Rockets, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is a closeout opportunity for the 4 seed, the Houston Rockets. They're up 3-2 in this series. The winner of this series will have a date in the second round against LeBron and AD and the LA Lakers. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from the arena, the NBA bubble. Great to have you with us here tonight. Brian Anderson along with Chris Webber. We'll hear from Jared Greenberg in just a moment. This has been a very interesting series. The Rockets won the first 2 games. Oklahoma City answered with 2 wins. And then Houston, Chris, with a blowout win in Game 5. What are your headlines here for Game 6?
Well, it's no big headlines. It's no big surprise. Houston has made a commitment to small ball. And by the way, they are hot on both ends of the floor. Westbrook, he's changed his team from one of the slowest to one of the fastest pace teams, and we all know Harden's ability. It just steadies the ship. But boy, this team is locked in the playoffs. They have the #1 defense. Now, on the other side, young teams usually have a hard time bouncing back after big losses. But most young teams don't have a veteran leader like Chris Paul. He'll tell his guys to forget the horrific shooting from last game. He'll remind them that all year long they made a name with heart and effort, and to ensure this win, they'll have to let defense be their guide.
Chris Paul and the Thunder, and this is how they'll line up tonight. Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Steven Adams, Lou Dort, the Harden checker, as he's been in this series, and Danilo Gallinari, the international flair of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, and Robert Covington, a familiar starting 5 for the Houston Rockets. Covington coming over in that February 5th trade. Just about ready for the tip here. Game 6 between the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Houston can send Oklahoma City home with a win here today. The Thunder trying to advance to a Game 7. We already have one Game 7. That'll be tomorrow between Utah and Denver. Great to have you with us on TNT. Our officials tonight, Mark Davis, Josh Tiven, and Kevin Scott. The alternate is Trey Maddox. In the replay center here, just a few hundred yards from us, Mitchell Irvin and Aaron Smith, and Jason Phillips, the Vice President of Replay Operations, will be available to us in Secaucus. Brian Anderson, Chris Webber, Jared Greenberg, our reporter. Tonight's game produced by Tom Heitz, directed by Andrew Greathouse, and our terrific TNT crew. So glad to have you along board tonight. Ready to put it in the air. Robert Covington and Steven Adams. Rockets don't win many tips these days. Going with small ball. Oklahoma City will have the first possession, and away we go. Steven Adams on the floor is always a big story, Chris, and how long he'll last in this game will be a key for Oklahoma City as Gallinari gets up the first shot. And one and done for the Thunder. Harden, Westbrook, Gordon, Covington, and Tucker. The starting 5, tallest player on the floor at 6'7" in Covington. Gordon misfires on his first try. They'd love to get Gordon going. His shooting has been an issue here for Houston.
Now that's why Coach Mike D'Antoni made the first play for him, trying to get in. And how about Lou Dort? He's making sure, saying, listen, I know I was 0 for 9, but that was the other day. Let's get the game going now.
Yeah, Dort really struggled from behind the arc, could not make a 3. Tucker took a shot to the chin or the throat. PJ Tucker and Dennis Schroeder were both ejected from Game 5. That was a blowout at the hands of the Rockets. And let's see, yep, elbow high from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
It's hard to judge intention, but the guards of OKC are trying to make the screener pay, whether by getting you below the belt or that last play letting the guy know, hey, I'm coming with the elbow coming through.
Now, so James Harden called for the offensive foul. Josh Tiven calling that one on Harden, and it'll go the other way. Turnover for the Rockets. We're just underway here if you're just joining us. How about the Miami Heat taking down Milwaukee in Game 1 of that best-of-7 second round? Dort sends it to the corner. Gallinari is 0 for 2 to start it.
Those of you not familiar with the play of the Houston Rockets, they play two different styles. They are much faster since they've committed to small ball. The reason why they committed to small ball is because Westbrook is now in all effect their offensive center. Yeah, you heard me right. That's because he pushes the pace and he just wants layups and mid-range shots. Harden, he steadies the ship from three-point shooting. He steadies the ship from the aspect of getting to the paint and the foul line. But this team right now playing with great pace. And by the way, they have the #1 D in the playoffs.
Yeah, that wasn't a mistake. They are top defensive rated team in these playoffs with all these guards, and Mike D'Antoni, you know, forever known as a defensive coach. Just kidding.
Okay.
But he does have his Rockets playing some defense. Part of that is the way Oklahoma City runs on offense as well. But they've done a good job. This experiment is working. We'll see if it has the Rockets advancing. Tucker misses a three. And Adams is pulled down by P.J. Tucker. Man, already this game is chippy to start between the Thunder and the Rockets.
And you're right, this is an experiment. When you're center, that's your center. And look at the center he's checking, Adams. Tucker in any other era would be a 2-guard, maybe a 3-guard. And so, but Coach D'Antoni, he mixes this experiment with context and analytics, and I think that has to be the combination. You just can't look at the paper and say this is what works. You have to have the talent and the skill set to do it.
Gilgeous-Alexander finds Dort. Dort on the drive like a freight train coming, and he kicks it again to Gallinari. He's 0 for 3 to start the game. Couple of good looks though. And Dort initiating that setup for the Thunder. Gordon backs it out. Now he's got the switch with Adams on him. Russell Westbrook, his second game back. Missed 2 weeks with a quad injury. Had just 7 points in 24 minutes, and he scores on his first chance here tonight. Little layup by Westbrook.
And that's the post play I'm talking about. That was a post play by their center. Great hands that time by Tucker. Look for Utah to get out and run.
Now there's going to be a foul on Chris Paul. Thunder, they don't foul much. One of the best teams in the league at not fouling teams and sending teams to the free throw line, but already some early fouls. Russell Westbrook, just 7 points in 24 minutes. He did have 6 rebounds and 7 assists, and they really didn't need him in the second half in Game 5. Westbrook again, no. And Gallinari with a rebound.
Really impressed with how Dort has come out. He's looking for a shot, and then he's getting the other guys involved early. His energy is contagious.
Chris Paul, steady as he goes. Healthy year this year, played 70 games this season. Adams taking Covington down on the block, scores with a left hand.
That's how you make your presence felt. It doesn't matter if you secure offensive rebounds if you can't convert. And right there, Adams making sure not only did he get the rebound, but second chance point. So important for this OKC team.
All these threads, these two teams involved in the trade with Paul and Westbrook matching up here in the first round. Dort got deep and a wild pass ends up in the hands of Covington. Covington to Harden. Here's Harden on the take now. He misses the layup. Well, just a choppy start for both of these teams so far. Only 6 points on the board. Gilgeous-Alexander, wow, somehow he finished that one off.
What a tough layup right there. Good pace right now for both teams, but choppy like you said.
Covington for 3, that's pure. Well, that was a February 5th trade. Covington coming to the Rockets from Minnesota. Capella was traded away, ends up in Atlanta, and the Rockets formed this new squad with this new philosophy. And they earned the 4 seed in the West. Home court advantage only technically in the bubble.
Look at OKC right now, and Chris Paul mentioned it in the beginning of the series. He has to make Adams a valuable asset on the floor. Adams just can't be around. He's not a great shot blocker. He can post up, and if you notice, they posted him up, and he's trying to run, get early post position, but teammates have to cut off of him so that he has open positions either to find him, like he did on that last play, or to try to get an easy bucket.
And there's a foul, no shot. Foul on the floor as Gilgeous-Alexander on the take. Eric Gordon will pick up the foul. Just a lot of fouls early. That's already the 4th foul for Houston. Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench. Favorite to win 6th Man of the Year this year. And Oklahoma City can ride with that 3-point guard lineup. That's typically their closing lineup, and it is a beast. Dort open for a reason.
Yeah.
He keeps firing, though.
Harden, and he's going to have to keep firing. For people to say don't shoot, you don't know what you're talking about. He has to shoot to keep the offense in rhythm. You just can't say, well, I'm not going to shoot and be a guy out there. You just have to hope that he shoots and makes it. And if not, the coach is going to have to make an adjustment. It's about coaching, taking him off the floor, not about changing his game when he's on the floor.
Billy Donovan just praising Lou Dort. He's just a rookie out of Arizona State. One of the two Canadians in the starting lineup, he and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Dort from Montreal. And trying to check James Harden. Long range three, no good. And there's Gallinari with the rebound.
And I agree, he should not be shooting all the time, but if he's on the floor, that's what he's going to have to do. So when you make a commitment to give him playing time, you make a commitment to giving him shots.
His energy is effusive. He is always on the go. Rips through there. That'll be an offensive foul. P.J. Tucker has taken a couple of shots early at the hands of the Thunder.
Yeah, he's taking him to the chop saw. I mean, and Tucker, for those of you who don't know, I mean, he's coming to the league late. He's traveled all around the world playing basketball, and I'm so impressed with his toughness. This team, again, the #1 defense in the playoffs, and Tucker is their center. You cannot give him enough props.
That's 4 fouls already for Oklahoma City. We're going to have a ton of free throws in the penalty the remainder of this first quarter here. Daniel House on the floor for the first time. Launches at three. No, there's Dort with a rebound. Paul pushes. Leaves it for Gallinari. Another one is up and another one misses.
They're going to need Gallinari to make some shots. He's had 2 open shots, and that one is slightly contested, but he's a knockdown shooter. He just needs to keep shooting them.
Are we sure these rims are 10 feet tall right now? Maybe check them, maybe 9.5. A lot of missed shots. Houston 2 for 9. Oklahoma City 3 for 9. It's a low scoring start here. 6-5 Oklahoma City. Timeout on the floor in game 6.
Seen her make my blood bigger. Spill promethazine, a shot of double cup. Double up my cream, now that's a double step. Yeah. Please don't hit me.
Remember his first game back. The Rockets win it easily. They now lead the series 3-2.
Spend 1,000 on some t-shirts up at Saks. V12 in the valley, black on black. SA in the valley, do my tax. White boy in Manhattan, pay my tax. Drive out to the Hamptons to relax. I stop smoking, then I relapse.
Sloppy start to game 6 back here in Orlando with the Thunder in a must-win situation, up by 1. Hi, I'm Jared Greenberg. After getting blown out in game 5, Chris Paul told me the other day that all he can control today is his and his team's effort and energy. And in fact, that's long been Chris Paul's focus. After being acquired last summer by OKC, many assumed that Sam Presti would flip CP3. But CP3 and Billy Donovan sat down late in the summer, and Coach Donovan told us today that CP3 came to him and said, listen, I'm not a half-in, half-out kind of guy. Coach credits CP3's ability to never be distracted that has allowed him to be the Players Association president, balancing his off-court responsibilities with his on-court job. And Coach talked about his love for the game that has really been evident, not only in his play, but also in the amount of time, C-Web, that CP3 has invested in the young guys on this Thunder team that certainly has overachieved and wants to keep their season alive tonight.
I mean, that's a great report, Jared. It gives us context because if you really look at Chris Paul's career, it's been polarizing. At times, people said he's the best guard, small guard ever. At times, people said he's injured all the time. And sometimes you just have to keep going, and people will figure it out later. And I think most fans have figured out this is who he's been his whole time in the career, his commitment to excellence. This OKC team would not be that good without that second coach on the floor named Chris Paul.
It's been remarkable to watch him operate both on and off the court here. Such meaningful moments as Harden puts one off the backboard and one for James Harden. So Gallinari scores at the rim on the other end. Harden comes right back as these two teams try to establish a little rhythm and tempo in this game.
Tell you what, Chris Paul must encourage this young team. So hard to bounce back many times after a historic loss. You're looking and saying, wow, we lost by 34 points. And they understand defense is going to get them back in. But right now, I mean, the shooting is still horrific. If you look for last game, 7 for 46, 0 for 4 in this game. Just make it 7 for 50 last 3-point shots taken. Just incredible.
Yeah, Oklahoma City has some problems now with Dort in foul trouble. Again, Oklahoma City just 16.8 free throws a game allowing the Rockets. That is significantly down, about 10 free throws a game than what the Rockets normally do in the regular season. Oklahoma City prides themselves on not fouling, but they're in some early foul trouble with Dort, who has the responsibility of James Harden on the bench. Bullet pass, Harden inside to Daniel House.
Tell you what, usually it's a block or something like that. That was just team defense. This team defense is impressive. Look, a bad shot last time or a missed shot in here, the double team and still wide open 3.
Tucker wide open in the corner, rattles one home. That's been the new Rockets, the playoff version of the Rockets, with all those pesky guards and their perimeter defense tightening up. Rockets on an 8-0 run right now. They lead 13-8. Adams knows he must take advantage inside. Kicks it. Gallinari fires again. That one is true for Gallinari. He needed to see one go down. That's his first made 3. Harden, crafty all the way in. Easy for James Harden.
Nice little elbow right there, and they may have to get a rest. Adam just took one in the midsection.
Steven Adams with his hands on his knees on the other end of the floor.
I tell you what, the captain of the Houston ship, it's Harden. He's been there. He's done that. It's the playoffs. He feels it's his time.
One thing though, women they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day, maybe we'll someday grow. Till then I sit my trunk on that runway on this one way. Truck to the plane, to the truck to the hotel lobby. Me, I go through underground garages, presidential suite on deposit, elevator up to the room, shower up and then we hit the club. Touchdown, gotta see what's up, gotta see what's up, gotta see what's up.
Welcome back to Orlando, and as my partner BA said, it's time for a gut check, and Adams doesn't like it too much. He takes the worst of that encounter. And listen, I'm a veteran. I'm going over and talking to the ref. I'm not going to get a technical. I'm walking calm. And I know you're my point guard, but get out of here. I mean, get out of my way, man. I mean, what are you doing? You're making a scene. I don't need you to talk to the ref for me. Let me handle this, big fella. I'm the vet. And we saw a little bit of more interaction when he was just telling guys to just shut up, let me play, let me get a little bit of rest. But it's the playoffs, and everybody's feeling a little tight, little extra anxious.
Yeah, the big Kiwi, Steven Adams, upset. He's on the bench now. 3-point guard alignment for Oklahoma City. Gallinari pulling House back. He's going to fire up another 3. That one was pure. Gallinari missed his first 3 opportunities. Now has hit on his last 2, and he's got 7 first-quarter points. That was a long 2. They scored it. And that'll be out of bounds off the leg of Harden. Defense by Schroeder. It'll be Oklahoma City ball.
Anybody that's watched Schroeder play this year or in his career, you know that he loves to attack on the offensive end. I'm impressed with his defense this year. His commitment to defense.
Schroeder. Oklahoma City shooting just 30% from 3-point range in this series leading up to tonight. Numbers Chris was giving you. And a slow start tonight as Harden draws the foul.
Harden, one of the best BA to me, but when he doesn't drive and get to the line, I think he does his team a disservice. And I think any time that you've seen, you know, that last game was his first game as a Houston Rocket playing under 30 minutes. He's a gamer. So sometimes a little tough for him to continue getting to the line. When you see him doing this and then stepping back, hitting those 3s, that's the balanced game.
A reminder tonight from Orlando, the NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life, Rocket can. And by Microsoft Teams, more ways to be a team. James Harden hits 1 out of 2 from the line. Imperative, according to Billy Donovan, that they, as best they can, keep Harden off the line. You know he's going to get there. Rockets shoot a ton of free throws all year. Chris Paul buries a little bit of range. Nice look for Paul. 1 point game. Rockets with the ball in the lead. Paul's first field goal of the game. Paul had 16 points in 30 minutes in game 5. Got his hand on that one. A deflection. Harden gets it back. Tucker's open in the corner. No that time. Noel with a rebound. First minutes for Noel for Oklahoma City. Schroeder attacks. Now Green wants to push it. Running the floor, House. And Harden will back it up. Gallinari on James Harden. Coming off a 31-point game, just 28 minutes. Didn't need him in the second half. Step back three. Too strong. Right back to him. He'll fire it up again. That one's too strong. And Harden having to readjust his sights here early. 0 for 3 from three-point range for James Harden. Paul all the way in. The seas parted for Chris Paul. Timeout. Mike D'Antoni. Oklahoma City in desperation mode, trying to force a game 7. They lead it by a point. Boy, there's a lot going on in this game already, Chris. Watch Dennis Schroeder here. A little tap. I'm right here, James.
Get your hand out of my pocket.
So Mark Davis, that was his voice you just heard. They're going to take a look at this.
And I understand what the refs, I understand what they're doing, and they're doing a good job. The officiating has been great in the bubble. I just don't like the phrase on that play. Like he said, we're looking like it was extra contact, or is really harsh. I mean, I understand you have to.
Act.
Yeah, hostile, you know.
So Mark Davis, the crew chief, Josh Tiven is over there with him. By the way, speaking of the officiating, I mean, we've talked about the shooting in the bubble, which has been spectacular. Points are up. How do you feel about the officiating here in the bubble without the crowd around them? I mean, I think these guys are doing a fantastic job at this point.
Believe it or not, I'm actually friends with an ex-ref, Derek Stafford. Don't ever play golf with him, though. But I was talking to him about, the fact that it's funny. All these referees are here together for the same time. They usually don't have the same schedule. They usually can't, share notes with each other. I think that the refs have done an awesome job, but I also think it's the lack of the fans as well. I think everyone can focus in a little bit more because there is no distraction to blame a bad call on, to blame a bad shot on, because it's just us in this gym. So kudos to everybody for raising their game.
And Jared Greenberg, a lot of social time for these officials. They don't normally get to hang out together.
Yeah, it really is, BA. And they get the opportunity, as C-Web said, to share notes, but they're also around the campus in what is called the green zone as Schroeder hits the jumper for OKC, and they're watching games. They're all bonding, and I think just like the players or just like the staff members or the media members who were in the green zone here and really isolated from the outside world, it's an opportunity to relate the experience that is one that is historic, but also one to really hone in on your craft and don't have the distractions of flying around the country, don't have other things going on like your family or other concerns in your life. Really, it's just basketball.
And shout out to them because they've been marching for social change as well. Don't know if you saw fans out there, them, on social media. They've been a big part of this too. So shout out to our WNBA sisters and also the refs.
Good stuff there, guys. Back and forth they go. Houston with a 2-point lead coming to the end of this first quarter here. Nerlens Noel. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander now. See the Rockets, they switch everything. Gilgeous-Alexander for a 3. That's a big hit for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Really starting to shine now in his career. His points almost doubled from a year ago. Westbrook just fires a wild one out of bounds. Turnover Houston. Oklahoma City ball with the lead. Hey, a reminder, it's a whole new game and it meets a whole new experience with Michelob Ultra. Tweet hashtag Ultra Courtside with hashtag sweepstakes for a chance to win tickets. Say hello to all the virtual fans out there watching tonight. Fist bumps to you all. This is technically an Oklahoma City home game here in Game 6. Yeah,
let's get the wave going. Let's get the wave going, fans. Come on.
In your terms, just stand up in your chair.
Exactly. Oh, there they go. They're doing it.
Darius Baisley lost the handle. Turnover. Here comes Houston. And Covington scores a layup. Easy in transition for the Rockets. Oklahoma City, typically a team that has low turnovers, low fouls. Been just the opposite here tonight. Nerlens Noel, little jump hook is good.
And again, credit the switching defense and also the amoeba zone a little bit that they've been playing. Getting the stops.
Woo, strong to the basket. Russell Westbrook. No ill effects of that quad injury for Westbrook. Mike D'Antoni said not only did his recovery day go well yesterday, he thinks he's better off. He said he feels terrific after getting his first game in the playoffs under his belt. Terrence Ferguson can't hit his first shot. Gordon. And now Westbrook will get the offense started here. Coming to the end of the first quarter. About 7 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. And Westbrook, another bad pass. That's 2 turnovers for Russell Westbrook. It'll put the ball back in the hands of Oklahoma City. They have a chance at the last shot here. And Billy Donovan's going to put Gallinari back on the floor. Chris Paul re-enters as well. .7 left. Oklahoma City has not led after the first quarter in any game in this series thus far. Houston's gone +30 against them. Got a chance to do it for the first time here. Paul, he'll put up a 3. And it's short. And that'll take us to the end of the first. And the trend holds. The Rockets have led in every first quarter here in this series. Low scoring first quarter. It's game 6. Hard fought battle. You're
For way many men, many men wish death on me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. Put money on my head, gone. Get your refund. I ain't dead. I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happen every time. I'm the greatest, something like Ali in this prime. I walk the block with the bundles. I've been knocked on the humble. Swing the ox when I rumble. Show you.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT. First round, it's presented by Rocket Mortgage. Low scoring first quarter, and Chris, it's been a little chippy here in game 6 between these two.
Oh yeah, can you tell that the playoffs are here? It's a little bit different. And it seems that Tucker is getting the worst of the wear each time, being physical, fouling, but this is what you want. You want your guys coming out aggressive. They're a little bit nervous. This is a closeout game. They want to give it their all. And moments ago, Jared Greenberg, he caught up with Rockets head coach Mike D'Antoni.
Coach D'Antoni, the first quarter seemed a bit sloppy. What do you credit that to?
Probably the tension. The guys, they're playing hard. Both teams are playing hard, just making some mistakes.
Russell Westbrook had a rough shooting game, his first game back in game 5, but seems to look like he's got it going tonight. What do you credit that to?
He's getting to the hole, so he's making layups. That's good.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much, guys.
Mike D'Antoni, 4th year as the Rockets coach. Even playoff record at 51-51. He's talking about Westbrook. There's a nice pass to Covington. Sets up Green. Can't get the bounce. What are your eyes telling you about Westbrook right now in his second game?
Well, you can see that he's feeling good. I watched him in warm-ups, and he was just having a one-man dunk contest. He takes an elbow to the midsection. That play is a little bit upset, but his passing has kind of been off the last 2 plays. Want to see if he can get that under control. 2 turnovers early.
Austin Rivers on the floor and denied. Nerlens Noel with the rejection. Schroeder patient, kicks it. Ferguson for 3. And the 3-point shooting woes continue for Oklahoma City. They are now 2 for 11 on 3-point tries in this one. Shooting just 30% in the first 5 games from behind the arc. Gordon on the tape. Floater is good. Boy, nice bucket there by Eric Gordon.
Houston Rockets fans, if you advance and Gordon gets back to being himself after fighting through injury, this team can get even better because he's doing it on the defensive end. Just tough to make a shot for him right now.
Paul with Gordon on him, sticks a little mid-range. Not many better than Chris Paul in that area. Back to Gordon, though. He only played in 36 games this year. Just kind of a unsettled season for him with knee injuries. And for a guy who has made a living behind the arc, shooting the ball as he does, got to figure his legs have had a lot to do with that. Schroeder gets right by Westbrook. Baisley spins and a foul. Houston wanted to travel there.
And this is moments ago. Take a look at this. You want to talk about gut check or a little below the belt, but Westbrook right there is.
Well, we take you back. It's been a constant theme here. And Chris Paul, I mean, he got McLemore in Game 3. Game 5, it was Schroeder. That ended up leading to an ejection between Tucker and Schroeder. They each got teased. They were both tossed. So there's a theme developing.
Well, there's a real big thing developing, except those should be flagrant 10s. Those should be flagrant 20s. My eyes are watering right now.
Half the population knows exactly where you're coming from, man. So that's something to watch here as we continue on in Game 6. Darius Baisley comes up empty. Second free throw. We're all tied at 27. Just underway in the second quarter. And Westbrook goes strong and one for Westbrook. Got popped in the head that time on his way in.
Most innovators are doubted. Most innovators are talked about their whole career. And yes, Coach D'Antoni has the second most wins behind Don Nelson without ever reaching a final. But if you've seen his coaching style, if you've seen Nash and others flourish in his offense, you understand there's a method to his madness. And with Westbrook posting up, getting inside, whether the post up is a drive or a traditional post up, this team feels like they have a better chance to space the floor and get others involved.
Well, D'Antoni in the final year of his contract. A lot of discussion whether he'll continue on as the Rockets coach. I guess it all depends on how things turn out here in the playoffs. He has been a winner, though. Twice Coach of the Year in the NBA, including 3 years ago, 2017, with these Rockets.
Good block by Gordon on that play.
Westbrook now. Westbrook gives it up. Green. Three-pointer is up. Baisley slows it down. Oklahoma City wants to get the ball into the hands of Chris Paul and get it organized. They are excellent in the half court. Paul on the drive. Paul, wild shot. Ball is loose and into the hands of Covington. Here come the Rockets. A lot of transition threes for Houston. Man, the three-pointers just aren't falling right now. How about Houston? 3 for 15. And that's going to be a block underneath on Green. Rockets are 3 for 15 from three-point range. Oklahoma City 2 for 11. Almost a travel, almost a charge, but instead it's the block on the veteran Jeff Green. It's going to send Darius Baisley, the rookie. Only 20 years of age. This guy's got a bright future, doesn't he? Playing in his first playoff series. Tonight, the NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Telluride Nightfall Edition from Kia, official automotive partner of the NBA. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We know that OKC is a bigger team. They have a 7-footer on the floor, but that man Westbrook, he's responsible for this stat. The smaller team, Houston, 18 points in the paint. The larger team, 4 points. So who's taking advantage of their strength? That's Houston with their quickness right now.
Westbrook getting to the cup often in this one. But I think Oklahoma City's got the kind of game they want. Got it in the mud here. Gordon, and it's blocked. I think Gilgeous-Alexander got that. Boy, look at Baisley run the floor. Nothing there for him, but he was sprinting down the floor. Schroeder, little secondary move, and he gets to the basket. What a year Dennis Schroeder had. 19 points on average per game coming off the bench for Oklahoma City. Gordon again, in and out it goes.
This is when Chris Paul is at his best, going downhill and seeing other players out of his peripheral vision, getting them involved.
Baisley, that's his offhand. He is fouled. Gordon got him.
It's always great to have help, defense. And that's Gilgeous-Alexander on the defensive end. And how about Schroeder? The in and out, get to the baseline. He's trying to make sure he increases those points in the paint. Statistics for his team as well.
Goes right by Daniel House, who's been dealing with a toe injury. You wonder how mobile he is on the side to side.
And again, so impressed with this OKC team. Not many people in basketball outside of the locker room there in OKC believed that they could have this impact. And talking to their coach before the game, he was just saying that all we could do is be one of the best teams that you've ever played on, that we could have great chemistry, that we could work together. If we start there and blossom from there, good things can happen. Great job by Coach Donovan.
4-point lead, Oklahoma City's biggest of the game. Rockets had it to 5 at one point. Here's Gordon on the drive. Gordon, and he's looking for a foul, but was disrupted at the rim with Adams in there. Now Paul kicks it. Good ball movement here. Gilgeous-Alexander almost crossed himself up. Adams in deep, scores easily. Nice look from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Oklahoma City on an 8-0 run. Rockets have not scored in the last 2.5 minutes. Harden trying to change that. Offensive foul on James Harden. Schroeder reprimanded there by Josh Tiven as he knocked the ball out of his hands.
I love it by Schroeder. He's trying to get in the mind right here. Give me that. Just making guys upset. I mean, these are the guys you don't want to play against, but you want on your team. And again, you want him to be an agitator. You want him to play defense. He's the underdog. He knows it.
Doc Rivers, head coach of the Clippers, watching his son Austin here tonight, and knows he's going to have a little extra time because his next opponent still to be determined. How about the Jazz and the Nuggets series? NBA playoffs will continue this Thursday. Game 1, Western Conference semis. Clippers and either the Jazz or the Nuggets. That'll be 9 p.m. Eastern on TNT. That's the next time we'll see Doc Rivers in play. Looking forward to watching that tandem of Murray and Mitchell go at it tomorrow night. What a performance last night here on this floor. Coming out of the timeout, Adams bats it to himself. Buys him another chance. Couple of offensive rebounds there. Dump it inside. Adams. Oh, and he's met at the rim by Covington. Not expecting that if you're Adams. Now Tucker fires a three. Boy, the Rockets, that is a bonus when you get a block inside, yes, and then you force Adams to cover Tucker in the corner.
And it was off of an offensive rebound. We've already talked. Does it matter that you get an offensive rebound without converting it to points? Good defense. And how about this? One block, and now he comes back and gets a steal.
Robert Covington making his presence known on the defensive end. He is a terrific defender with those long arms. Unforced error, James Harden turns it over.
Oh, man, these are the type of plays that get you excited because you just know that's a good finish. Just a miss there, getting over in the block, and you get it to the other end, get it to Tucker in his spot, knocks it down.
OKC by 3, 6.5 to go in this second quarter. Paul, quick release on the step back. Adams there with the offensive board. And throws it, trying to throw it off the foot of Harden. That's going to be Oklahoma City ball. So this goes back to your point, Chris, you made earlier. As Austin Rivers checks in, talking about offensive rebounds with Oklahoma City, that's not necessarily a concern for Houston if it doesn't turn into second chance points.
Yes, and again, in talking to Coach D'Antoni, the day they made the trade, trading Capella, and you look at these stats, and Houston gets up, get this, 52 threes a game here in the playoffs, so they'll be shooting a lot more. As Gilgeous-Alexander says, I can knock one down too, but that's why they believe in small ball. They've looked at the analytics, they've looked at their players and the way that they want to play, and they'd rather be quick than big, and they believe they can keep you off of the boards, and if they can't, you won't be able to score on them anyway.
That's now 5 second chance points off those 3 offensive rebounds. That's a big stat to watch for Oklahoma City here tonight. Rivers lets it fly from 3, comes up short, and Oklahoma City basketball here just under 6 minutes to go in the first half.
But I love Oklahoma City imposing their will. Again, Chris Paul said in the beginning of this series, we have a big fella and we're going to use him. And when you have a leader like that on your floor, he doesn't let you kind of get away from the game plan or accept anything else. It's no, we're going to impose our will on them, keep our identity, which is defense. And so far in this game, they've been showing why they've been playing so well all year.
Here's Paisley, gives it up. Little weave going here for Oklahoma City. Schroeder just instructs Gilgeous-Alexander. It looked like Ferguson stepped on the sideline.
Yes.
They didn't see it. You see that?
Yeah. But how about the way they converged on him, even though when he got in the paint?
Here's House. And back to Harden. Harden's been a little unsteady to start this game. Paisley right with him. Three-pointer is up and in. Covington, we've seen him on the defensive end. Now he pops a 3. That's his second made 3. He's got 8 points in this first half. 3-point game. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with Rivers on him. Now popping open is Ferguson. Three-pointer is up. No, here's Harden. Harden taking it all the way. Paisley on him. No contest. James Harden runs the floor, scores in transition, and a 1-point game now. Timeout, Billy Donovan. Thunder want to talk it over here. The Thunder lead by a point. They'll have possession when we continue. Game 6. All right, C-Web, time to step onto the court with the Oculus front row view, courtesy of Railcam.
This man isn't the leading scorer in the NBA multiple times for any other reason except he can score from the outside and in. And when he takes the best shots available for himself with his skill set, one of the toughest players, in my opinion, in the history of the league to guard.
3 consecutive scoring titles for James Harden, and while he is 0 for 3 from three-point range, been able to attack the basket. He's got 8 first-half points. 4:43 left in this second quarter. Oklahoma City with the ball. Steven Adams with Tucker on him. Gallinari back on the floor for Billy Donovan. Adams goes to work, met with a double team, and strong finish for Steven Adams. Adams 12 points, 14 rebounds in game 5, averaging 11 and 9 this year. His playing time, his minutes on the floor, the big question every night when you match up against the Houston Rockets. So far, so good. Here's Harden for 3. That's his first hit of the night. You knew you wouldn't keep him down long. Harden with a quick 11 now after that three-point make. All tied at 40. Schroeder goes to work, and going to be a foul. Almost a turnover there. Austin Rivers will be called for the foul. Austin commits the foul, and his dad just calmly takes it all in. No complaint, saving all of his referee barking for his next game.
Well, just to be honest with you, B.A., he loves his son and his son loves him. If they don't care anything about each other right now in the court, he's scouting.
Okay.
He's not watching his son.
Well,
he's seen his son play a million times. He probably texts him for the game, good luck, son. And if we play you, we're going to beat you. So a competitive family, I think, in my opinion.
Gilgeous-Alexander. Well, he's already sent his son-in-law home, Seth Curry.
You know what I mean?
Who
It's
married
cold
his daughter, Callie. So, yeah, I think you're right there. Good call. Harden across the court. Here's Tucker. The line drive comes up short. I tell you, Darius Baisley is active in this first half. Gives him a lot of length, too, at 6'8". He can bounce. Bad pass. Schroeder. Turnover, Oklahoma City. Back in that corner, Daniel House this time. That high arcing three into the hands of Schroeder, pushes it. Adams. Yeah, you don't want him handling the ball. That was an easy pick for Gordon. House all the way in, and there's a layup.
What a move. Sometimes guys have a Euro step, sometimes guys speed up. And if you watch Luka, if you watch Harden, sometimes guys slow down when they get in the paint to make sure they can gather themselves, take the contact, and finish strong.
Gallinari working on House. Little turnaround is good. After a slow start, Danilo Gallinari has it going now. That's 9 for him. Gordon misses again. Boy, Eric Gordon is just in the struggle bus right now. 1 of 7, 0 for 3 from behind the arc. Gordon on Gallinari. He'll pull it. Got another one. Feeling it.
And that's a post up. His back was to the basket, and then he faced up. And you can do that. You don't have to do it. What a move.
Harden is fouled on his way in.
And just look at this. You want to post, get some movement, but turn it into a regular play. Face up and shoot over. Whether you're Gallinari, Porzingis, whether you're others, you can get to your sweet spot. And we saw Melo do it last week. So tough to guard a player in triple threat position with a live dribble that can shoot.
Good to see Gallinari finally healthy, playing well this year, averaged nearly 19 a game. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow night's ESPN ABC playoff schedule looks like this. Celtics Raptors, game 2 of that series in the East on ESPN. Boston winning game 1 impressively. And then the one we're all waiting for, Jazz Nuggets ABC tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern. Game 7 of this first round, the Mitchell-Murray show. 4 50-point games between those two competitors.
I don't want that series to end. Flat out. Give them. Let's just start over and go 7 more. Let's just go.
We saw that game last night. We covered that game, and it took a while to just calm down, go to bed, because that was an incredible performance. Jared Greenberg's interview with Jamal Murray after the game is one of the highlights of this postseason thus far. Fantastic words after the game as Gallinari misfires.
Yeah, Jared watching Oprah and Ayala Van Zandt got us crying up in the stands right there. But Murray, such a great game and heart by both teams.
Here is Harden, no on the 3. There's SGA with the rebound. Houston gets back well. Gilgeous-Alexander, shifty, misses a layup. Adams offensive board. Schroeder now for 3. No. Adams keeps it alive 2 more times, 3 more times. Finally, it's Gordon. Nice work there by Gallinari, shutting off Russell Westbrook. Here's Harden now. Across the lane, scores at the rim.
That's just bully ball. He remembers Schroeder knocking the ball out of his hands and all the antics. He's trying to go back at him.
Schroeder from Paul. Can't get the bounce.
The box out by Tucker. Tucker's in there. Tucker's, man, he's so underappreciated by so many fans, but he is working hard inside, boxing out 7-footers. He's always in the fray, always getting the worst of the contact and doing a great job on the boards.
At 6'5", matching up against the 6'11" Steven Adams. And this happens just about every night in the regular season since that trade in February, where Tucker is just taking on the big man.
Yeah.
And yet he doesn't miss games. He hasn't missed a game in the last 3 years.
You think about this team, they have warriors. Harden doesn't miss games either. And, you know, you have to love that, to be able to trust the best skill is availability.
All tied at 46, and Harden with the spin and the finish puts Houston back in the lead. American Express halftime report. EJ, Kenny Charles, and Shaq coming your way next from our Atlanta studios. They'll be breaking down Miami and Milwaukee. Miami goes up 1-0 in that series. Paul lost the handle. It was knocked out of his hands. Here comes Westbrook now. He's got House running the floor, and another bad pass by Russell Westbrook. That's 3 turnovers for him.
And these are bad passes without defense on him. And yeah, he hasn't played in a while. He has to get his feeling. He says, my bad to his players, but those are easy conversions and just turnovers right now.
Shot clock is off. Oklahoma City trailed by a point at the end of the first quarter. They're down 2 here. Chance to take the last shot, maybe take the lead going into the halftime locker room. Schroeder, hesitation, cross the lane. Schroeder scores the runner. Beautiful take to the basket by Schroeder. Here is Gordon, last chance. Oh, that one's true. Eric Gordon just needed a wild shot to fall. Well, he needed to see one go through. Eric Gordon gives the Rockets the lead as we go to the halftime locker room. Yeah, athleticism to land inbounds. Clearly a 3. 9 ties, 9 lead changes in this first half.
Walking the tightrope. Keep those toes up.
Next level athleticism right there. James Harden with 17 points, had 11 in the second quarter. And they do confirm, Mark Davis, that counts. Rockets 51. Night provided by Goodyear. When the game is on the line, what moves you? Goodyear, more driven. Welcome back, Advent Health Arena on the campus of Disney World. Our game summary is brought to you by Geico. And a 51-48 game. Very poor shooting first half. Poor shooting from the three-point line as well, but this 5 second chance points. Oklahoma City, a big stat for them. Moment ago in the locker room, had a chance to hear from Billy Donovan.
Okay, we're generating good shots. That's what we got to do. Is we got to live by. Keep generating good shots. Okay. Third quarter mentality coming out of the locker room right away. Okay, right away.
In-shot tracks courtesy of Billy Donovan. And I tell you, Chris, the third quarter was key in Game 5. It was a 3-point game at the half in Game 5. Rockets outscored Oklahoma City 37-18. And they started on a 16-2 run in the third quarter. So the urgency is there for Oklahoma City. Dort back in the starting lineup. He had 3 first-half fouls. Daring him to shoot. Dort cannot connect. Let's check in with Jared Greenberg.
Yeah, obviously the emphasis, as you guys said, is the start because of what happened in Game 5. But watch Lou Dort here. If they need to get more offense going, it wouldn't surprise me if the OKC coaching staff elects to go to a different direction here, fellas. He said, Billy Donovan told me just a couple of moments ago, the ball movement was good. We got to get some shots to fall down.
Dort just 1 for 3, 0 for 2 from behind the arc. On the run, breakaway, Russell Westbrook.
I mean, anytime he gets the rebound, it should be like a starting pistol because it's almost like he just starts in the dead sprint. He passed 2 players on that play in a one-man band. He's a one-man fast break.
Quick 5-0 burst out of this third quarter, just what Billy Donovan was trying to avoid. Gallinari had a nice first half. Now it's Dort and a hot pass, too hot for Adams. Turnover, Oklahoma City. Here is Harden, and he's fouled. And Houston has a chance to jump out to a quick 7-0 run in this third quarter.
18 fast break points for the Houston Rockets. They like playing fast, layups and threes. That is their strategy, and right now, getting off to a great start these first few minutes in the first couple of minutes in the third quarter.
So Harden will get the tee here. I think he thought it might have been a shooting foul. And having words with Mark Davis. Mentioned those 18 fast break points. Oklahoma City with just 2. Mark Davis going through the whole scenario with the beard as Gallinari hits the tee. First point to the second half for Oklahoma City.
You like that from Mark Davis. He's made a statement. He's given his technical, but he's not arrogant. He's talking to these guys. He understands that these guys is passion. Like, we're playing hard right now. You want to understand. He texts them up, explains why, and get back to playing.
Westbrook crosses over, kicks it. Ball movement for Houston. Now it's Harden all the way in. Untouched. James Harden scores at the rim.
OKC not stopping penetration, nor are they getting back in the fast break. They need to make sure they secure some stops with the rebound.
Houston trying to send Oklahoma City home. Close-out game. There's another turnover by Westbrook. That's his 4th bad pass. Paul finds Gallinari, steps into it. Everybody gets a touch. Here's Dort, hangs and finishes. Wow. Just an explosive player. Lugans Dort. Out of Arizona State by way of Montreal. Another turnover for Houston. Gallinari lines one up. And Gallinari with another 3. So an answer here. Mike D'Antoni wants to talk it over. Good start for the Rockets, but Oklahoma City with a response. 4-point game. Well, the sad news earlier today, John Thompson passing away as well. Another great loss to the basketball family. Our former Turner colleague, Lute Olson, a couple of days ago. Now John Thompson, Hall of Fame coaches, gone much too soon. And Jeff Green played for John Thompson III at Georgetown, part of that Hoya family. Don't forget, Billy Donovan was a star at Providence, took him to a Final Four under Rick Pitino. And of course, John Thompson had an NIT title with Providence as a player. That's a legend loss, Chris, and John Thompson.
Such a great man, a great coach, 2-time champion with the Boston Celtics. So he was a hooper first and a father to countless men. And you just look at the impact that he had upon the league. We know about the great city coach and how they carry themselves, whether it's Mutombo, whether it's Alonzo Mourning. If you want to share the happy cry, if you want a happy cry right now, of course, Patrick Ewing. If you want a happy cry, make sure that you go look at Allen Iverson's Hall of Fame acceptance speech, and you will understand what he meant to AI and to people like myself that didn't play there. I thought Georgetown was a HBCU, an historically black university, because of the profile that he had there and the encouragement. Those blue and gray Georgetown Nikes back in '84, the starter jacket with the bulldog on the side. That's the only reason why we know of that university in any type of way of sports, is because of that man right there.
Yeah. Well put. Huge legacy he leaves. Sending our best to the Thompson family, including our buddy Ronnie, who's worked with us on occasion here at Turner as well. Turnover for the Rockets, so now they have 12 turnovers, Houston. They are averaging 11 turnovers a game here in the playoffs. They've really protected the ball well. They lead all playoff teams with only 11 turnovers a game, but 12 on the board now for the Rockets.
And how about Lou Dort? Starts off 0 for 2, 2 for 4 now. More importantly, I like his energy. I like what he's come in and done as far as in the beginning. We saw him get some good shots for Gallinari and others, and now he's kept his tempo on the offensive end, but defensively still being a defensive stopper.
6-point game. Thunder down, and a three-pointer missed by Gallinari. Houston knows as well as anybody, you just can't allow Oklahoma City to stay close. They are excellent late in games in those clutch minutes. 5-point game, 5 minutes or less. Had a blowout win in Game 5. They got to rest most of their starters in Game 5. Good ball movement all around the perimeter it goes, and Gilgeous-Alexander, no. Another missed three. It has been a rough shooting game for both teams. The Thunder are 4 for 19 from behind the arc. Covington fires, and that one's true.
Yeah, when you look back at OKC teams, of course they've had greats. We know the greats that they've had there, one being Kevin Durant, one of the greatest, but they've never had shooters. And so to me, this is the same story that we've seen in playoffs. I'm impressed with how they play, but you can play them so differently, forcing guys to shoot shots that you want them to take and not commit on the defensive end.
Gallinari, he's been their best weapon from behind the arc. He hits another one. That's his third. So Gallinari with 18 now. Covington trying to answer, cannot. Paul with a rebound.
Gallinari running hard for his teammates, giving some space. Chris Paul just missed him there.
And now Paul will pull. Adams keeps it alive. Offensive rebound and a foul. Westbrook. Oklahoma City ball down 6 here with 7.5 to go. A reminder, you can get more action on FanDuel and look for the final basket bonus during the NBA playoffs. FanDuel gives you more ways to win with sports betting, daily fantasy, and free-to-play games. Schroeder will put it in for the Thunder. And got that three-point guard alignment here with Schroeder, Paul, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander trying to shake Covington, cannot. Paul, good catch, looking for help. That was tipped by Covington, but Gallinari with a shot flake, and he hits another one. Gallinari, his 4th 3.
Just hit hard with his own move. Pump fake, sidestep, knockdown 3.
Gallinari's got 10 in the quarter, 21 for the game. Tucker. And Schroeder comes away from the pack. Gallinari tapped it to him. Schroeder on the drive. Schroeder, no. Tucker with a rebound. Back and forth they go. Look at Schroeder picking up Harden nearly at the half-court line. Working on Adams, easy for James Harden.
Yeah, Harden got inside, one of the toughest to guard, but I really like the attention to detail that Schroeder is doing on the defensive end. He's not scared to check Harden outside, which means he's not scared to fall, get crossed over, or get scored on.
Ooh, Gallinari is feeling it right now. 12 in the quarter, a long 2 goes, 23 points for Danilo Gallinari. Average nearly 19 a game this year. All the way around the horn again. House got it. Another 3-pointer down. Daniel House this time. Now the shot's starting to fall here. Paul, strong. Paul, wow, what a finish there. Almost lost the handles, nearly stripped away, but had the grip on it.
If you know Chris Paul, if you've seen him, you know he's one of the shortest players in the league. But if you watch the way that he plays, you really can't tell. He gets inside. He doesn't care about shot blockers. Great floater.
Harden. All the way around it goes. Covington. He finds Tucker wide open in the corner. Tucker comes up short. That's Schroeder with a rebound. Oklahoma City down 4 with the ball. 5.5 to go in this 3rd quarter. Houston stretched their lead to 9, and an answer by the Thunder, and now Paul is fouled by House.
Gallinari, he has such a great skill set, and by the way, he's tall. How about that? Just the face up and the knockdown. And CP3 here, one of the best at using fakes, whether it's off with a live dribble or whether it's like that off of the jump stop. He just has so many moves in his toolbox right there. Beautiful floater.
Able to withstand that swipe from PJ Tucker, strength on strength. 3 free throws here for Chris Paul. 91% free throw shooter in the regular season. Hit 3 out of 4 in game 5 en route to a 16-point effort. Oklahoma City has had the response Billy Donovan was looking for. Houston was a runaway train in the 3rd quarter in game 5. Not the case here. Hey, a whole new game meets a whole new experience with Michelob Ultra. Tweet hashtag Ultra Courtside with hashtag sweepstakes for a chance to win tickets. One more free throw remaining for Chris Paul. And Oklahoma City within a point now. They've covered that 9-point deficit. 13-5 run for the Thunder. Jeff Green on his way in. The whistle, offensive foul. Schroeder took the charge. Jeff Green picks up his second foul.
Good defense. Schroeder was out there helping. He was getting out to recover to Harden. Saw the penetration, came over, got the charge. That's why he's a sixth man of the year candidate. He does it on both ends of the floor.
It's impressive how quick Paul and Schroeder close that gap, close the door. Now Paul inside, and Chris Paul takes it to the rack. Oklahoma City back in the lead now. Harden, turnover, had it swiped away, did Green. Schroeder's on the breakaway, and that's going to be Houston ball. Daniel House right with him, step for step.
Good no calling. Great job by Daniel House getting out the way. A lot of times on a fast break, guys really don't even want to finish it. They just want to make sure they get the contact and the attention of the referee. House understood it that time, kept retreating and stayed vertical.
So with 4:48 remaining in this third quarter, Chris Paul will take a breather. Dort is back on the floor, matching up with James Harden. There's the switch. No, Dort gets back on him, and the rim run by House, and count that basket.
Beautiful,
a goaltend.
Beautiful, beautiful pass. And the easiest players, in my opinion, to guard are the most selfish ones. The ones that aren't selfish, so hard to check. And let's see. Yeah, his hand goes through the rim right there. And good call.
Nerlens Noel. Count the basket. Houston on top once again. Back and forth they go. This game was back and forth in the first half, and a very poor shooting first half. Here's Dort. And he just can't get one to go. Dort was 0 for 9 in game 5. He is 0 for 3 from behind the arc here tonight.
And
14 Houston turnovers, Chris, excuse me.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm just jumping so fast to that shooting statistic because they are the worst in the playoffs in threes. They only shoot 30%. They only make 11. They have 6 now. So this is right on schedule for them.
Harden for 3. He's got it. Just crept over the front of the rim. James Harden, just his second made three-pointer tonight. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a block from behind. That's an offensive foul. So House took the charge. Gilgeous-Alexander with a foul.
Look at that step back right there. That's just beautiful. And great defense right there by Dort. Just better and the offensive foul. And just in case, here comes the help D.
Chris, that step back 3, the side step 3s, the step back 3s, it's changed the game. And who'd have thought, as Harden goes to the hole to score it, who'd have thought it would have rendered Clint Capella out of the picture with the Rockets? That particular shot right there.
But I love innovation. I mean, it's all about, pushing the envelope, and Coach D'Antoni has done that. Again, he's the second, he's the coach that has the second most wins behind Don Nelson and not making the finals. But that doesn't mean he hasn't been in the wars all these time, coaching MVPs, making guys' careers better, and being an innovator in this game.
Think about how it has affected the pick and roll offense. Just the ability of Harden. That's why they've gone small. D'Antoni wants to talk it over. It'll be Oklahoma City ball when we continue.
Wir verhindern, dass der Virus sich weiter ausbreitet.
Alors, s'il vous plaît, évitez les contacts étroits avec les personnes malades. Pratiquez la distanciation sociale.
Kapı kolları, telefon, anahtarlar gibi birçok temas ettiğimiz yerleri düzenli dezenfekte edelim.
È difficile, ma dobbiamo aiutarci tutti.
一つのチームとして一緒に頑張りましょう。
Mantenernos fuertes y a salvo, juntos saldremos adelante.
Want more playoff stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads the playoffs in three-pointers?
3:11 remaining in this third quarter. Closeout opportunity for the Rockets. They lead 3-2 in this series. Team comparison here, the three-pointers, the offensive rebounds, and what's coming off those offensive rebounds, the key in this game for both teams.
Oh, yeah, look for Houston to get up 20 more threes. They average 52. You see they're at 30 now, and great steal right there, getting in the way. But OKC has a way of mucking games up, make you feel like you're running in mud, not letting you get a good rhythm, but Harden right now, so hot.
Here's House in the corner, and the three-pointer is no good. Run down by Schroeder. He pushes it. Schroeder, and how about House running the floor? What a defensive play by Daniel House. And from all the way into the right corner to get that steal. Now it's Harden. No. James Harden, he's made 8 of his last 11 now. He's got a couple of threes. Was 11 for 15 in game 5. Now it's Dort, strong, and Dort at the rim.
That's why you want him on the floor, even though maybe he can be an offensive liability at times. His energy is just something you just need on the floor for this OKC team. He makes things happen, sometimes bad, but he makes things happen.
Snaps a 7-0 Houston run. Rockets started the quarter on a 10-1 run. As Green turns it over, and that'll be Oklahoma City ball.
He makes things happen. That's the turnover right there. Give it to Dort. I know it was so maligned for last game in his play, but this guy's been a consistent part of this OKC team. And for players, you don't listen to what we say about you. You listen to what your coach tells you in your role, and it seemed like Dort has been doing that.
Well, Russell Westbrook back on the floor. Jared Greenberg, you've been on Russell Westbrook minutes watch.
Yeah, he's played just over 16. It's his second game back after a right quad strain. Mike D'Antoni saying before the game tonight he would expect Russ to play somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 minutes. He was real pleased this yesterday he was able to practice without any soreness. So right now just over 16 minutes for Russ.
All right, Jared, thank you. As Lou Dort hits a 3. That is a welcome sight for Oklahoma City. They are down 1 now. Dort's first made 3 in the last 2 games. He had missed 11 straight prior to that one. Now it's Green. And he can't get the friendly bounce. Tucker with the offensive board. Back to Gordon with Paul on him. And Gordon loses the handle. Oklahoma City ball. I mean, this has been a familiar theme with Dort wide open. They're daring him to shoot, Chris, and he finally hits one.
The coach used to tell our teammates, listen, you're wide open for a reason, and until you work in the gym and make people pay, you're going to continue to be wide open. But again, Dort, he's doing so much on the defensive end, giving energy to this team, knocking them down.
He had missed 13 consecutive before that hit. Oklahoma City a chance to take the lead here. Approaching the 1-minute mark of this third quarter. Oklahoma City trying to force a game 7. Chris Paul and Baisley, nothing there. Finds Dort. Does he got the hot hand? Oh, Dort coming alive here with back-to-back threes.
I thought Curry played for Golden State Warriors.
An 8-0 Oklahoma City run that answered a 7-0 Houston run. And Lugan's Dort giving him a huge lift from behind the arc. Thunder up 2. And another turnover for Russell Westbrook. Another bad pass, and he returns a favor. Nerlens Noel, a giveaway by the Thunder. Westbrook pulls a 3. Baisley up there high for that rebound. 3 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Chris Paul, no one better to get it organized. He's going to pull a quick 3. Green with the bouncing rebound, and now the shot clock is off. The Rockets can take the final shot. Houston led by 1 after the first quarter. Had a 3-point lead at the half. Find themselves down 2, and it's poked away from behind Noel, and a foul on Houston. That'll be on Gordon. Side out for Oklahoma City. They had one to give there. Oh, a nice play by Noel. He's got only Chris Paul to beat without that play by Noel in the long reach. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. So Oklahoma City, down in the first 2 quarters, finally has a lead going into the fourth. 9 ties, 12 lead changes.
called crossing them up. It's called throwing it down. It's called unlimited range. It's called True View, a new perspective on basketball.
NBA playoffs on TNT. First round coverage presented by Rocket Mortgage. We got a ball game tonight in Game 6. 2-point Oklahoma City lead. Moments ago, Jared Greenberg talked to Thunder head coach Billy Donovan.
All right, Coach, what's the strategy if they're going to keep on leaving Dort wide open for three?
Well, you know, I'm happy for him. You know, he's a hard worker. He's a great kid. And obviously last game he didn't shoot particularly well. But, you know, he's taking good shots. And it was good to see him bounce back and have the confidence. And the teammates lifted him up, telling him to shoot the ball when he's open. What was different about this third quarter than Game 5 that you can translate to the fourth quarter? Well, I didn't think we got off to a great start. You know, we got down a little bit. But I thought Gallo got going offensively during that stretch and scored and kept us close. And then I thought we closed the quarter pretty well. All right, Coach. Good luck in the fourth. Thank you. All right, guys.
All right, thanks, Jared. Thanks to Billy Donovan. Gallinari started 0 for 4 tonight, but had 12 points in the third quarter. He's got 23 now and has made 9 of his last 11 shots. As Schroeder at the line. To his point, Chris, Billy Donovan, Rockets came out of that third quarter on a 10-1 run, had another 7-0 run. Both occasions, Oklahoma City had an answer.
And how do you get back into a game when you're not a three-point shooting team? Again, this team averages about 11 makes, dead last in the league in three-point in the playoffs and three-point shots. And so right now, Dennis Schroeder struggling, 3 for 12. That's why you like seeing him attack the basket, get into the line, kind of getting a little bit of a rhythm.
And put this in the back of your mind here. The Oklahoma City Thunder, their fans know this well. They are great in the clutch. Most wins this year in the NBA in the clutch minutes. That's 5 minutes, 5 points or less. Here's Jeff Green for 3, and that stops a 10-0 Oklahoma City run. Green sporting those Georgetown Hoya shoes. 1-point game. Schroeder on the take, and the finish by Dennis Schroeder. The likely 6th man of the year. Now Russell Westbrook gives it up. House for 3. Oklahoma City by 3 in the ball. Fancy dribbling there by Paul. Shoots up and over Green, and he's got it. Boy, you just knew it. He had all that rhythm.
Oh, when he gets into that patty cake mode, you can't do anything. He has so many moves, the hands up, the in and out, and most importantly, he can knock down the jumper.
Westbrook misses on the layup. Rockets are going to need more from Russell Westbrook. He's sporting 5 turnovers right now, only 1 assist. Got to the lane a few times in the first half. Haven't seen much of him in this second half. Again, Paul working on Green. Oh, Chris Paul taking Jeff Green one-on-one last 2 possessions and dropped a couple of mid-range jumpers on him. 16-3 run for the Thunder. 85-78 Oklahoma City and Chris Paul.
Those guys. It was competitive. It was fun, man. It was great to play with them guys, man. Thank y'all. Shout out to the fans.
All right, Chris, let's take a look at the winning performance fueled by Gatorade, and we're watching Chris Paul, player, coach. Billy Donovan shared Coach of the Year honors that was voted on by the coaches. I think Chris Paul may have come in 4th in that category.
Oh, you're saying it's a co-job there? He's an assistant coach, but this is what you want. He's a veteran. And let's remember, they got blew out by 34 points. Houston had a historic win last game. It's hard for young teams to bounce back from that. It seems like the end of the world, but most teams don't have a vet like Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, while he's been on the floor and he's played 30 minutes, Oklahoma City is plus 18, minus 11 without him. And his dedication to conditioning, his diet, he's able to stay on the floor as Harden goes to work, misses a layup. Rebound ripped down by the rookie Darius Bazley. Oklahoma City trying to continue this run. It has been impressive. Schroeder now, long three is up. Into the hands of James Harden. Westbrook on the drive. Westbrook and one. That's what the Rockets are looking for with Russell Westbrook, like a freight train coming.
He's a stick shift. He just switches gears so fast. I mean, he pauses, lulls you to sleep, and just explodes up between two defensive players. Gets the and one.
Russell Westbrook, his second game back, a quad injury. Return for game 5. Had the luxury of playing him only 24 minutes in that game. Didn't need him much in the fourth quarter. Can't hit the free throw. Westbrook with 15 points. Paul working with Schroeder. He's got Dort down in the corner. They leave him open. He's hit a couple of threes already. Now they swap places with Bazley. Three-pointer is good. The left-hander fires one home.
Stay in your lane. That's the rule of life right there. And Dort understands, yeah, I knocked down a couple, but let me do what got me here. And wow, he's getting guys involved with his dribble penetration.
Biggest lead of the game for Oklahoma City. Last touch by the Thunder. And there's Chris Paul coaching again on the floor with Nerlens Noel. 12 on the shot clock. Houston ball. And here comes P.J. Tucker in for D'Antoni and the Rockets. In for Jeff Green. Green will exit with just 3 points. He's had a couple of big games in this series. Harden now with Dort on him. Shot clock ticks down to 5. There's Tucker. A little bit of a scramble here. Shot clock to 1. Covington just gets it off and scores.
Nice patience right there. Tucker got the ball. He knows he has a man automatically in the corner, but it didn't happen that time. Made the extra pass. Good finish.
Shot clock down to 6. Back in the hands of Paul. Covington on him. Paul bounce pass to Dort. Three-pointer on the way. And this one bounces up and over the backboard. So after a couple of hits from three-point range, Dort can't convert that time. 2 out of 6. Chris Paul says, keep shooting, Rook. Keep shooting.
Yeah, Chris Paul put him in a bad position on that one.
Take a look at tomorrow night's ESPN ABC playoff schedule. Celtics Raptors game 2 tomorrow. Boston up 1-0. And then the game we're all waiting for on ABC. Jazz Nuggets game 7. Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray. Showstoppers so far in this bubble playoff run.
Tell you what, I was watching the TNT pregame show and I saw Van Vliet getting to say hello to his kids. And you know, he didn't play that well the other day, but we saw what happened when his son was born last year. How that helped lead that team. I want to say his son and Kawhi were the MVPs of the finals last year because Van Vliet just was shooting unconscious in those games. And it's so good to see players now get their families back and be able to be with them. And I tell you what, that's going to definitely have a positive impact on most of these players when the games resume.
James Harden at the line to shoot a pair. We remind you that the NBA playoffs on TNT brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle home, auto, or motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. And by Popeye's Chicken Sandwich, a crispy filet and a barrel-cured pickle on a brioche bun. Just $3.99. Harden hits both free throws. The Rockets within 4 now. Oklahoma City has had a couple of nice runs to answer Rockets runs in this, or through the third into the fourth. Here goes Bazley on the drive. Kicks it to Paul. Wide open for 3. That one's good. Chris Paul.
OKC is controlling the pace in their half-court set. taking half of the shot clock off, executing their offense, and that helps throw Houston out of rhythm. Houston wants to speed it up and play fast.
Paul's got 20 now. That's his first made three. Good defense here by Oklahoma City. Gordon having a tough time. Can't score it over Baisley. Outstanding defense by the Thunder, especially Baisley at the back end of that. Schroeder, long three is up. Schroeder's missed a couple of threes.
Schroeder 4 for 14. Really can't find his rhythm.
Gordon can't get the bounce. There's Covington with the offensive board and a putback. Well, we are set up for a finish tonight here in this one. The Rockets up 3-2. They're getting 15 out of Covington tonight. An excellent defense. Harden now on Paul. Baisley, he'll shoot a three. Baisley short into the hands of Schroeder. Second chance opportunity here. Paul trying to shake Harden, gets through, and Paul, no, can't finish it. Into the hands of James Harden. Gordon kicks it. Tucker open for three. That's good. PJ Tucker. 2-point game now. Oklahoma City with the ball and the lead. 6.5 to go in regulation. Gilgeous-Alexander, another miss. Back-to-back stands for the Rockets. Paul, then SGA. Feels like Harden time right now. Gets right by Baisley all the way in. No. Adams there to disrupt that layup attempt. Schroeder, and there's going to be a whistle. No shot. Foul away from the ball in the lane on Tucker as he and Adams collide. Both hit the deck.
Two different styles OKC has played. Great post up right there. That is a foul. 14 fast break points in the second half. Only 2 in the first half. And now that they have the lead with Chris Paul, they've gone back to playing slower in the half court, executing, and now with Gallinari in. Expect them to keep that movement, maybe some pick and rolls with Schroeder, but most importantly, let Gallinari, who has the hot hand and the skill set, go to work.
Chris Paul has logged 34 minutes in this one. You don't figure his breather will be long. Dort can't save that. Bad pass, Adams. Bad communication there between Adams and Gilgeous-Alexander. And a wince from Billy Donovan.
17 turnovers for OKC, 18 for Houston.
Covington for three. That one's true. Robert Covington hits his 4th three-pointer of the game. He's got 18 now. Rockets in the lead by 1. Dort goes strong. Offensive foul going the other way. Harden stood in there and took the charge.
It's a commitment of defense. We've mentioned it, and no, this is not a mistake, what I'm about to say. Houston has the #1 defense in the playoffs. I know you think I'm crazy, but no. They are committed on the defensive end. They are switching everything and putting their bodies on the line. Great play that time. Harden taking the charge.
It was a 16-3 Oklahoma City run. Now the Rockets on an 8-0 run themselves and the lead with the ball. Gordon on the drive, working on Gilgeous-Alexander. Eric Gordon goes strong. Timeout, Billy Donovan and the Thunder. 10-0 Houston run. They lead by 3 with 5.5 to go in the 4th. You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT. First round presented by Rocket Mortgage. Chris, you've been tracking this all night. Better three-point shooting here in the second half. Those second chance points, so a story.
Yeah, definitely. OKC has 9 extra possessions, and out of that it's only rendered 8 points. And so if you're Houston, you look at that as a win because you're still in it. But if you're OKC, you're saying we're doing all that we can to stay in this game. And right now they got the ball hopping. Energy's good. Pace is awesome.
Houston shooting over 50% from the field in this second half. They're 7 of 15 from behind the arc in the second half. Oklahoma City 7 for 17 from three-point range in this second half. Much better shooting than what we saw in half number 1. Three-point game. Oklahoma City with the shot clock down to 4. Gilgeous-Alexander gets stuck. Here's Dort, and he's fouled with 1.8 on the shot clock. Luguentz Dort will head to the line. P.J. Tucker picks up the foul.
Look at him. If he didn't play football in high school, I mean, he is an athlete. And again, he had a bad shooting night the last game, but you need his energy on the floor. He's been efficient tonight, but more importantly, he's been getting other guys involved. And I'm telling you what, he has some leverage, some lower leverage right there. Strong guy.
Dort only 6'3", but goes 240 plus. Can move some mountains in there as he rattles one home. 2-point game. Get more action on FanDuel and look for the final basket bonus during the NBA playoffs. FanDuel gives you more ways to win with sports betting, daily fantasy, and free-to-play games.
You know, B.A., I take him back. He's from Montreal. He should have played hockey. He should have been checking somebody up against the
enforcer.
Oh, man.
All right, we're approaching that 5-minute mark. This is where Oklahoma City has thrived throughout the season. Covington, and that one's out of bounds off of Dort. Shot clock at 8. Covington thought he was touched.
Dort could have played rugby as well.
And now Schroeder back on the floor. So Dort, terrific game. Those back-to-back threes were key. And now Oklahoma City with their three-point guard lineup, their closing lineup. The three-point guards with Gallinari and Adams. Step back for Harden. Three-point hit for James Harden. That's a big one.
Those plays are so deflating. You could have the best defense. You can listen to your coach. You can talk about all the statistics. But that's just when nothing matters. Just a great offensive player.
Seen the ball go through much more in this second half. In the corner. Schroeder finding Paul, kicks it out. Gilgeous-Alexander, no, a missed three, had a wide open look. Now a steal by Schroeder. Schroeder goes strong, the whistle, it's going to be an offensive foul. Chris Paul is hot and just got teed up. A tee on Chris Paul called by Kevin Scott.
That's a good call. Maybe Chris Paul didn't see it that way. It's in fast motion, but that is a great call. And Tucker, one of the best, in my opinion, him and Ilyasova at getting charges.
And the tech is Paul with the air punch and got dinged by Kevin Scott, sending Harden to the free throw line for the tee. Boy, that is a pivotal moment, perhaps, as we come to the finish line in this game. So Harden's made technical foul shot, makes it a 6-point Houston lead with the ball, 4:19 remaining in regulation. Rockets trying to send Oklahoma City home.
Harden 11 for 15 last game, 11 for 19 this game. In other words, he loves his defensive matchups.
He's got 32 now. Gilgeous-Alexander on him. Harden puts it up. And Paul with a rebound. Thunder hold serve right there on a miss by Harden. See if they have an answer. Oklahoma City down 6. Gallinari had the hot hand in that third quarter. And now Paul is bumped by Tucker. He is furious. James Harden trying to calm him down. Keep those arms down.
You see Chris Paul looking, and Chris Paul wanted to say that's a tech, but he looked and said, well, he didn't brush. He didn't air punch him.
It'll be side out for the Thunder.
OKC is going to have to get a couple of easy ones right now. Houston locked in on their pick and roll defense. Everyone getting to the paint.
Paul for three. Oh, a big shot for Chris Paul. That snaps a 14-1 Houston run. Huge hit for Chris Paul. Paul with his second made three. He's got 23, and now Westbrook can't finish on the other end. Opportunity here for Oklahoma City. One possession game approaching the 3-minute mark. Gallinari with a cut, had it blocked by Covington. 11 on the shot clock, Oklahoma City ball.
Man, sometimes you just need that veteran to say, okay, we're not in offensive rhythm. I'm going to knock this down until we get in it. The pump fake right here. Gallinari thought that he had contact. Great job, Covington, getting over.
Timeout on the floor. They will discuss Oklahoma City ball with 11 on the shot clock when we come back. Here goes Harden. Runs into a wall and Gallinari turnover. Paul jumps the lane. Costly turnover there. Oklahoma City can take the lead here.
Paul wants it ISO'd again. He's had success at the top, but you need to still cut and be aware on the Houston defensive cutters.
Paul gets by Covington all the way in. Hit hard. No whistle. Ends up in the hands of Westbrook. Westbrook pushes. Westbrook gives it up. Gordon for three. Short. And it's Schroeder away from the pack. Gilgeous-Alexander throws it off of Gordon. That'll be Oklahoma City ball. Man, Chris Paul, how about the three-point display here in this fourth quarter?
Oh, don't do that.
Gotcha.
Don't do that. That's just like, man, look, good defense, but you couldn't guard me. And right here, good defense. Way to use your head. Get an extra stop. Get an extra possession.
Under 2 minutes to go in regulation. Oklahoma City trying to force a game 7. Paul stumbling. Covington all over him. Shot clock at 5. Gilgeous-Alexander now kicks it. Gallinari for three. No good. Harden with a rebound. Now the Rockets can take the lead. Westbrook working on Gallinari. Another bad pass.
Yeah.
Nice save by Tucker. Back in the hands of Westbrook. Paul is on him. And he knocks it out of his hands. A steal by Paul. Turnover Westbrook. Paul gives it up. Gilgeous-Alexander gives it up. Adams.
What defense by Houston.
Closed him down, didn't they?
For Houston to get back with the big 7-footer and get this on the other end, that shows you why Houston is a whole new different team. They never had 5 guys get back and converge like that before, and that started with Harden and Gordon getting back into play.
Here's Schroeder, breaks free and scores the layup. Tied at 100 as we go under a minute now. Boy, you're right. Closing out the 7-footer. Adams had a couple of looks at it, couldn't get it to go. Westbrook scores on the other end. Man, what a game here. What a finish. Tied at 100.
Seems like you want the ball in Harden's hand. Westbrook has been turning the ball over. You want somebody that can space the floor, shoot, and get a little bit more respect. Defense laying off of Westbrook, daring him to shoot the shot.
Westbrook will shoot it. Air ball for Westbrook. Saved by Harden, and it hits Gallinari. Houston ball.
Chris Paul wants to look at that. He feels that Harden had a foot on the ground when he threw it in bounds. Let's see if the refs honor that. But look at this play right here. He's going to say, oh no,
he's
good
clean.
play.
He was in bounds.
Look at that. It's the extra effort. It's the hustle tonight of both teams.
Terrific play. Outstanding. James Harden. And Mark Davis. Yep, and it's going to stay that way. But let's get back to Russell Westbrook here, Chris, and an air ball.
Well, this is what OKC wants. You know, you'd much rather have that, even if he makes it, than him attacking the rim. And part of this is defensive strategy. In a catch-22, what would you rather give up to Westbrook? Any type of a jump shot. And that's why I expect the ball, these plays, to be in Harden's hands. He's your best player. He can get other guys involved. You need him shooting the ball right now.
What a save by Harden. If Houston goes on to win this game, that'll be the play of the game.
Yeah.
Rockets trying to advance to the second round and a date with the Los Angeles Lakers. But Oklahoma City has been up for the fight here tonight, withstanding a number of Houston runs in the second half. Much different story here in Game 6 than we saw in Game 5. And thanks to Mark Davis. So Houston with the ball, 4 on the shot clock.
DA, a couple of things here. If you're OKC, watch for the back screens. You're going to be so aware of the three-point shooters in the corner that you have to communicate on defense. Secondly, if you're Houston and if you miss the shot, watch out for Schroeder. Watch out for Chris Paul leaking, trying to get an easy one while you think maybe they're looking to the bench to see if they need to get a timeout and settle down.
Houston has 2 timeouts left. Oklahoma City has a foul to give. Tied at 100, 41-7 remaining in regulation here. And almost a turnover. Here is Harden. Shot clock ticks. Got to get one up as the timer runs out. And it's Gallinari who runs it down. Golden opportunity here for Oklahoma City. 9 seconds separating shot clock and game clock.
Chris Paul wants Covington on him. He wants the larger one. That's why he just asked Schroeder to come on and give the pick and roll for the switch.
And Paul gets right by him. It's going to be a foul. As Paul broke by Covington, he's called for the foul.
This is why he wanted this matchup. He felt that he had an advantage with quickness, the beautiful crossover, the reach in. 2 free throws for Paul.
Yep. No fouls to give for the Rockets, so Chris Paul can give him the lead. Paul, you see, he was begging for the ball because Mike D'Antoni is going to challenge this call. And until the shooter has the ball, you have that right. Timeout called for the Rockets. They have 1 remaining after this. And we have a challenge on the floor with 12.4 remaining. Here's the call. Mike D'Antoni is challenging. And Covington clearly gets the arm of Chris Paul. But Mark Davis, the crew chief over there, taking a look at it. Multiple angles, just like you're seeing here. And awaiting a decision here. Here he comes. And free throws for Chris Paul. So good chance for Mike D'Antoni to take, if nothing else. I mean, you lose the timeout, but you also get to draw one up as the shot clock is off.
Good call, B.A.
So Chris Paul can give Oklahoma City the lead. Paul's been terrific, 26 points. And has not missed from the line. He's 4 for 4 tonight, give him 27. Thunder by a point. Gallinari is out. Dort comes in. He'll be on Harden duty. There's Sam Presti, hoping his Oklahoma City Thunder can survive one more game. Paul calmly knocks them both down. Oklahoma City by 2. The Rockets with the shot clock off. And a turnover as Russell Westbrook, another giveaway. Wow. Westbrook struggling here in the 4th. He's turned it over a lot tonight. That's his 6th turnover of the game. And this one comes at the worst time for Houston.
I just don't know why Harden doesn't have the ball. I get it, but you have 2 different gears. The air ball by Harden, the air ball by Westbrook, the bad layup. Harden should have the ball in the last 3 plays.
And you figure a quick foul is coming. They let it play, and now a hard foul by Westbrook. Gallinari will go to the line to put this one away.
So, B.A., you're telling me, and I know this is competition, great teams, but you're telling me a team with championship aspirations may be headed to a Game 7 in the first round with the underdog OKC Thunder, that all this year the only thing they relied on was toughness, heart, effort, and unity. You mean to tell me we're going to a Game 7? It could be.
Gallinari has it in his hands right now. Oklahoma City's been one of the great stories in the NBA all year. The lead is 3. One more. Gallinari can put this one away.
So much time left, but still, you just to even be in this situation with championship aspirations.
Got it. 2-possession game. Mike D'Antoni takes his last timeout. Oklahoma City by 4. Gallinari jawing his way back to. Oh, the resurgent Chris Paul. How about the respect shown here, Dennis Schroeder? You are big time, Chris Paul. He knows it too. What a performance. Chris Paul, 28 points, 15 in the fourth quarter, made all 3 of his threes in the fourth. Harden puts up a heave, can't get it to go, and the buzzer sounds, and Oklahoma City survives for a Game 7. The story continues for the Thunder. And what was thought might be a rebuild year, no sir. They forced a Game 7, all-time records, each with 6 wins apiece. Chris Paul put the Thunder on his back here tonight, partner.
Oh man, you have to love what Chris Paul did. Let's put this in perspective. Chris Paul, the president of the Players Association, he's been pretty busy the last week or so, if you didn't know. How does he compartmentalize all of this, still be a leader and a bad man on the court?
Let's hear from him. Jared Greenberg.
A busy man, no doubt, but he is getting it done on the court with Chris Paul. Chris, a disappointing Game 5. How does this team continue to find the resolve to bounce back and have an effort like this to keep your season alive?
First, I want to give my condolences to John Thompson and that family. He was special. He was special. My boy Mike Russell coaches one of my AAU teams. He always coaches our team with a towel on his shoulders just because of Coach Thompson. Yeah. And another big shout out to our players for how they handling everything down here as men, you know what I mean, with everything going on. And as far as our team, this is who we are. You know what I mean? We built for stuff like this. A lot of guys on our team been, pushed out, traded or whatnot, but we just stick together and we keep fighting.
Well, it seems like part of your team is also playing with a chip on your shoulder, a little chippiness. There's a lot of talking out there, and in particular, we saw you hit a big shot and then give a little pat to the behind to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, it was Robert Covington. Shout out to Tennessee State, HBCU. You know what I mean? Gamesmanship, it's all respect, love my teammates. Dennis Schroeder is a dog. Is a dog. I go down, play against anybody with him any day. And our team, man, when it gets to clutch time, fourth quarter, some people built for it. Some people shy away from it. You saw Dame, all that stuff. Like some people built for it, man. And we're gonna keep hooping.
All right, you got less than 48 hours. A Game 7 against your former team.
Ain't nothing like it. No matter who it's against, it's a Game 7. You know what I mean? I just want my guys to know that we gave ourselves a chance. You saying we got a chance? We got a chance, so we're going to keep fighting. Appreciate it, Jared. I'm out.
All right, Chris. You're saying there's a chance, B.A.
He's in the interviews. He is out. How about that? They were down 6 with 3.5 left. No team won more games in clutch time than the Thunder, and they win it with a 12-2 run to the finish line. Chris Paul, 28 points. Spectacular here tonight at age 35. There will be a Game 7.